Welcome back to the OSBA Final 8 High School Championships. Joe, alongside Joe D'Agostino, I should say, still Anthony Gaio on hand, and Orangeville took care of business last game against TRC, and now whoever wins this game will face the undefeated Orangeville tomorrow afternoon. Joe, we know Bill Crothers 2-0 against Central Tech this year, but me and you both know how hard it is to beat a team 3 times in one season.
Yeah, that is an unbelievably tough task, but if anyone can do it, it's Bill Crothers, and we saw Orangeville do it just 2 hours ago, or in the pace of 2 hours. So, you know, Bill Crothers, I think they're the favorite going into this game, but Central Tech, they have a ton of talent, and they are an impressive team, and, you know, this game can go either way.
Range with the wide open 3 to start off the game. No good that time. And it's going to go back to Central Tech.
And I think the key for Central Tech is Jamal Fuller. He has to play at an elite level in this game because we know that Malachi Davis, he might get trapped and defended by Tyson Dunn most of this game, so their other star, Fuller, he's got to be huge today.
And an offensive foul that time. And for today, for Bill Crothers to be big, they have to get Kobe Elvis and Elijah Mahi going yesterday, both with 24 points, but a quiet 26 for Lear Leak yesterday as well. The 3 stars really coming out to play.
Yeah, Lear Leak was huge, Elijah Mahi was huge.
And we know Kobe Elvis is about. Speaking of Elvis, can't hit his first shot of the game, and here's Zachary John. John, cross court to Davis for 3. Gets it to go from 3-point range.
And this is a continuation of what we saw in that first game against Lincoln Prep. If Malachi Davis can get that 3 going, that's huge.
Back down the other end, Connor Lando with an easy dunk off the hands of Kobe Elvis. Davis, step back. Crossover, inside to Nagasu. Trying to put it on his head, but he missed. Elvis down the other end. Kobe takes the contact, and Malachi with a foul.
And Malachi going to help him up. Kobe Elvis saying, no, I'll get up myself, and what a hard foul there. And you know, I like the play by Malachi getting in there, forcing him to take those 2 shots.
Davis picking up that foul, and Kobe Elvis going right into his man. Kobe, the reigning MVP of the OSBA last year. Of course, Jefferson Koulibaly winning it this year. Kobe, part of that Southwest Academy team, missed out on the playoffs last year. And we were talking about it all game yesterday. He's been itching for this moment. And in that 4th quarter yesterday, he got the majority of his 24 points.
And I think what was so interesting in that first quarter, only 0 for 2 from the field. It seemed like he was a little timid, maybe kind of facilitating a bit more. And after that first quarter, he realized he has to be the focal point of the offense, and that means driving and attacking.
And a defensive foul that time on Jaden Grange blocking. Jamal Fuller to inbound. Last game, when we were down at Central Tech against these 2, Fuller got into foul trouble and didn't play a lot of that first half, and I think that was a big part of why they ultimately lost that game, I should say. And back the other way, Crothers gets the ball.
And the other key thing that we witnessed in that game was just the emotional sustainability by Central Tech. It seems like when they got flustered against Crothers in that game 3 weeks ago, it just kind of it stayed with them that entire game, and it almost kind of kept them from getting back in it. They have to be emotionally ready for this game, and if things aren't going their way, if you have to dig yourself out of a hole, you have to be prepared to do that cool-headed, calm, and collected.
Tyson Dunn lost the ball. Leak with the wide open 3. Missed everything that time. A rare miss by Lear Leak with 3-point range in this tournament. 3-3 coming up on 2 minutes past in this first quarter. Spencer gets it to go. Deshaun Spencer getting the start here today. Grange nearly stolen by Spencer. He overplayed it. Grange throws it away. Elvis keeps it in. Dunn, baseline. Grange for three. Can't get it to fall, and Fuller with a big rebound. Here comes Zachary John. John gets it to go in transition.
And Zachary John was one of those guys who got it going yesterday early for Central Tech. He's going to need to be a big component in this game if they want to walk out with the win.
And the Colts are going to reset here. Kobe for three. Off the mark. 2 straight air balls from beyond the arc now for the Colts. Fuller, no look pass. Spencer. Davis, shot fake. Malachi going in strong, draws the foul.
And here comes the Colts sharpshooter Elijah Mahi coming into the game for them, and they need him because right now 7-3. They've just been in a rut offensively. Kobe Elvis struggling from the field. Lyra Leak with that air ball we saw, and just they're being disrupted on the offensive end. A lot of closeouts by Central Tech. They're playing great defense.
And Elijah Mahi shooting 45% from three on the season. Yesterday, shot a clean 4 of 7 from three-point range. He just adds another element to this team, and he's one of the deadliest six-man in the OSBA. We talked a lot about yesterday how Brandon Ocampo is one of the best six-men in the OSBA, but Elijah Mahi, if there was an award for six-man, I think he would win it. Dunn carrying it up now. Stolen by John, nearly. Shot clock reset to 16 here. Dunn with the ball. Here's Elvis trying to get around his man. Oh, what a beautiful layup that time. When it looked like there was no lane, Kobe still got it to go.
He creates something out of nothing sometimes, and with nothing on the scoreboard for him so far in this game, he needed to create, and that's what he did.
Central Tech's biggest Achilles heel this year has been Bill Crothers. Fuller couldn't complete the alley-oop. John getting inside, somehow gets it to go. What an acrobatic layup by Zachary John. Elvis, the outlet to Leak. He can't bank it in, but there's Osagi on the rebound.
And Zachary John, I already said it, he's got to be a difference maker in this game. It's almost like Central Tech's missing that Elijah Mahi on their roster. They need that third guy with Liber Mullings out with concussion still.
Who could shoot
and I
the
think
ball,
that Zachary John is that guy.
Kaleem Liber-Mullen could shoot the ball pretty well. Gave him 16 a game as well this season. Scoop layup, he banks it in. Malachi Davis holds his hand up just for reassurance after as well. 13-7.
And Malachi Davis, he didn't play a lot yesterday because the lead was so large so late in the game in the third quarter, but I think if he played longer, he would have been one of those guys we talked about to be one of the standout performers in that first eight. He's continuing it on in this game as well.
Kobe drawed a foul that time. It's going to be on the floor though. Leak, he's got a clean look. The defense fell asleep that time. They got lucky. Alir Leak doesn't usually miss a corner three like that. Davis pulling back, asking for a screen. Here comes Fuller. John, an elite slasher in this league. Spencer looks like he shuffled his feet that time. Deshaun Spencer getting his first start here. And it comes at no better time than in the OSBA playoffs. Kevin Jeffers deciding that Deshaun Spencer will be the best option for him in the starting lineup today, of course, with Kaleem Liber-Mullings out. Elvis going in strong right at Fuller. No good. Elvis gets it to go. He might not have got the first attempt, Joe, but that shows that he's not afraid. He's here all day, and he's coming, and he's going to attack.
Yeah, and the patience and just the wherewithal to know where the ball is coming after you missed the shot.
Davis banks it in. Wow, he got lucky that time. Kobe didn't even bother checking him.
And Malachi Davis, if his three-point game is going, they are so hard to beat. It's not one of his best parts of his game, so if that's red hot, I think Bill Crothers might be in trouble.
And Leak stepped out of bounds that time.
And a technical foul on Alir Leak. Looked like after he got called for the travel, he threw the ball back down and it hit one of Central Tech's players and he got teed up for it.
Davis hits the technical free throw. 17-9. And the Colts just haven't found their offensive stride here. And Central Tech has been playing a great game so far to the first 5 minutes and some change here. Jaden Witter-Watts now in for the Blues. Davis has the ball. He's going to try a deep range one again. Short. Hit the front of the iron.
Felt like that was a little bit of a heat check there by Malachi Davis.
Mahi. Floater, no good. Too strong. Osagi, strong board. Osagi going up with it. Can't finish. And there's Nagasu with a strong rebound. Here comes Witter-Watts. Fuller. Extra pass to Davis. Crossover. Spin. Oh, beautifully done. He scooped that one in.
What a great play by Davis, and what I loved even more is he had the three open, but he drove to the lane because that's his bread and butter.
And a timeout being called here. The Colts want to talk it over 19-9. You're watching the OSBA Final 8 High School Championships. Welcome back to the OSBA Final 8 High School Championships. Central Tech having a near perfect quarter here. Already put up 19 and we still have 4 minutes to go. That's unlike the Colts who play outstanding defense. Barnes for three. Barnes unlocks the chamber from deep for the Colts.
And a necessary shot that needed to go in for Crothers. You mentioned it. A near perfect quarter for Central Tech, led by Malachi Davis's just electric offensive performance.
And a rare, and this is early for Kobe to be sitting. Kobe usually plays near the whole first quarter, at least from what I've seen this season. And there's Witter-Watts trying to respond, too strong. And it's going to stay with Central Tech. Witter-Watts. And a foul there, a cheeky foul called on Marcus Barnes that time. Davis knifing through, tried the no-look pass, lost it. Barnes with the ball. Here comes Tyson Dunn, finished second in the Defensive Player of the Year voting. Dunn stepped out of bounds that time.
Just some odd errors by Bill Crothers. We don't see this often from them throughout the year. Just a really rough first quarter on both ends of the court.
Three minutes remaining in the first quarter. Malachi with the ball, guarded by Kobe. Mahi gets a switch. Mahi. And a carry called on Malachi Davis.
It takes away the 3. I'm telling you, though, Anthony, Malachi Davis, he's shooting the ball with confidence right now. And he's one of those guys that every game you kind of just, you expect him to take that leap, and sometimes we don't see it. But in this tournament, he has been just fantastic. And in a game where they need him to be truly special, that's what he's been.
Talking about truly special, Elvis just put his defender on skates and finished strong at the rim. 19-14, Fuller with the ball. Nagasu trying to set the screen. Fuller cut off. Oh, great defense played on the big man. He still gets it to go. What a play by Jamal Fuller. First team All-OSBA this year. And well-deserved, and a commit to Hill College. Elvis with the step through draws the foul that time. And Kobe is in attack mode right now.
And he has to be. They need him to be kind of at that next level in this game, especially if Malachi's playing well, and it's been a quiet first quarter for Jamal Fuller. So if he starts to get it going, they're going to need Kobe to step up in a big, big way, and we expect him to.
Elvis at the line now for 2. Shot 5 of 6 last game from the line. And it goes 2 of 2 at the line. You see Cyrus Huggard-Noel coming to the game for the first time, number 21 on Central Tech. Here's Witter Watts. Over to John. John, what a move! And he's rejected that time by Mahi.
We've seen that a couple of times now, just shifting through the defenders. There's basically no space, and he still is able to get to the basket.
I said it yesterday, Joe, but it looks like he's walking on air. That's how long he's in flight for. And he makes it look easy, too. Fuller cut off on the baseline. Blocked at the rim by Landel. What a play. He pinned it against the glass. Grange going to take it himself, and he floats it in. Just like that, it's back down to a 3-point game. Biggest lead of the quarter and biggest lead of the game, 10 points for Central Tech. Fuller pull up, no good, but he draws the foul.
And it seems like every time there's some sort of contact with Jamal Fuller, he's falling on his back. He's taking some tough fouls in this game so far.
And he gets the first to go.
And the Colts quietly kind of got themselves back in this game, only a 4-point deficit. But I think if you're Central Tech, you have to be happy with how a majority of this quarter is gone. And if you're the Colts, you got to kind of maybe figure out how to get maybe other players going other than Kobe Elvis. Elijah Mahi very quiet in this game so far.
Still lots of time to go, 90 seconds remaining in the first. Mahi. Not quite for long, Joe. What an acrobatic layup that time.
That's what we've been waiting for him to do. We've been waiting for him to make an impact in this game. And, you know, usually it's from beyond the arc, but he can drive it into the lane as well.
Fuller rejected again, but it went off Tyson Dunn's hand. Fuller trying to make the case that he got fouled, but looked like some pretty clean rejections. And Fuller's going to come off the floor now. And Deshaun Spencer coming off as well, and Malachi back into the game. Davis has to throw it, and it's a backcourt violation that time. Great defensive possession on the inbound by Bill Crothers. Elvis to inbound, guarded by John. Landel stripped and a reach and foul on Witter Watts. And they're over the limit. 2 free shots coming up for Connor Landell.
And Witter Watts, he couldn't believe that call. He thought he got all ball, but it did kind of seem from our angle that got a bit of the arm. And like you said, 2 free throws incoming.
Both teams over the limit with 1:03 remaining in the quarter. Landell misses both that time. And it's going back to the Colts as Tyson Dunn smartly knocked it off the knee of Huggard Noel.
And I think we hear that a lot of times when we call Bill Crothers games. A smart play by Tyson Dunn, because that's really what he does on every single possession.
Elvis to Dunn. Kobe, step back, fade away, bang. Kobe Elvis, that's his spot right there.
And I think there was no question on if that was going to go in or not when he can get in that spot. And that's just where he lives and breathes, in the mid-range.
Witter Watts. No good that time. Looks like it's a foul on the floor. But they are in the bonus, so 2 shots coming up. He gets it to go on the first. Dunn to bring it up now. 3-point game. Doesn't look like Coach Salia's in any hurry to get the 2 for 1 here. Mahi, no good. 0 for 2 from 3-point range is Elijah Mahi. Witter Watts. Stolen by Kobe. Elvis gets it to go. 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. John, crossover. Witter Watts nearly lost it. They got to get a shot off here. John stepped out of bounds. And that's going to do it for the quarter. What a game, 25-24. Central Tech leads the Bill Crothers Colts. We'll be right back for second quarter action. Welcome back to the OSBA Final 8 High School Championships. And Joe, we got a great game on our hands here. Central Tech up by 1, 25-24, and it was back and forth that whole first quarter.
Yeah, and it was a battle of the 2 point guards. Malachi Davis, 13, points on 4 or 5 shooting. And on the flip side, Kobe Elvis, 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting. So both point guards are going off right now, and they're going to need to continue to do so if either team wants to win the game.
We couldn't get it to go on the hook. John blocked by Elvis, and a foul on the play. A little bit too much contact that time. And off the mark by Zachary John. Gets a second to go that time, 1 of 2 at the line. Dunn guarded by Davis now. Dunn trying to make the case that he tipped it. That's why Leak didn't go for it, but I guess to me it did kind of look like he had a finger on it, but regardless, back the other way comes Central Tech, up by 2. Fuller with the ball to John. Screen coming. John trying to make something happen under the baseline. And Malachi Davis is out of bounds. We've seen that a lot here today, Joe. The awareness on the court sometimes is just not at a premium.
Well, none of these teams have been playing on this court all season long, so maybe that has something to do with it. But you're right, it is a little odd. Both baselines, a little too frequent of these out-of-bounds plays.
Dunn going in strong and takes it himself. We haven't seen that much from him here in this game. Fuller with the ball. Big to big screen. Fuller highly contested that time. Not a great shot. Back comes Dunn, all tied up. Mahi decides not to take it. Mahi going in, taking the contact, and he gets it to go in. Elijah Mahi gives the Colts a 2-point lead. John with the ball. Screen. John got the step. John rolls it in. Zachary John is having himself a game. John up to 6 points now and continues to knife through the lane. Mahi to Dunn, spinning off his defender. Extra pass, great ball movement. Alir Leak in and out that time, but Mahi on the rebound. Couldn't put it in. Couple great chances that time for the Colts.
And you're right, that was great ball movement. And when you have a possession like that and even an offensive board like that, it hurts to see that you didn't get any points out of it. John
Foul on the floor that time before the shot. 7:54 remaining in the first half. Endurance Osagi going to come on the floor for Connor Landel. They rotate those bigs quite a bit throughout the duration of the game. Coach Salia doing a great job leading his Bill Crothers team to first place spot in their division this year. Davis spinning off his defender, poked away that time.
And only 6 seconds on the shot clock here, Anthony. They're going to have to think of something quick.
Fuller, that's quick for you. Hit the front of the rim that time. Fuller can't find the range here. And every time it seems he's shooting a three-point shot, there's always a hand in his face. Dunn, crossover on the big man. Somehow gets it to go. What a spectacular move by the defensive specialist, Tyson Dunn.
And he had the mismatch. He had Jamal Fuller on him, and right when Jamal kind of looked to the right to kind of see if the screen was coming, zip to the left, into the lane, easy basket.
Spin move. John, what a hesitation, loses the ball. Fuller has it. Davis gets cut off by two defenders, has to throw it away. Turnover. Leak. One dribble, strong move. Can't get it to go. Mahi on the rebound, draws the foul. And Bill Crothers starting to come alive here on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, and after Central Tech kind of had that early advantage, it's been back and forth since, and now Crothers an opportunity not just to extend the lead, but to kind of continue to build their momentum, like you said.
And a timeout coming here. Kevin Jeffers wants to talk it over with the squad. You're watching the OSBA Final 8. Welcome back. 3 minutes into the second quarter, and Bill Crothers has taken the 2-point lead here, but it's back and forth so far through this first quarter and some change, Joe.
And these two teams, you know, you expect it to be like that, even though it felt like kind of Crothers in the season had those two kind of bigger lead wins over Central Tech. You know, these two teams, they're great teams, and they're the reason why they're in the Final Four. And, you know, going into this game, I think Central Tech kind of had that chip on their shoulder. They wanted to prove that they can beat this Bill Crothers team, and they've shown they can hang with them, but Crothers has started to build that momentum, and Central Tech, they got to do things unlike the turnover that we just saw.
Miscommunication that time by Malachi Davis and Jamal Fuller, your two best players. They can't afford that in the biggest game of the season, potentially the biggest game of their lives. Dunn to bring it up. Here's Leak as Kobe Elvis continues to sit. Dunn, jab step, short of the rim that time. Zachary John, not stopping for anyone, draws the foul and the bucket.
Zachary John and Malachi Davis have been the two difference makers in this game, but we expect Malachi to have a big performance. Zachary John, he's showing up in this tournament right now, and they need it with Liber Mullings not cleared to play.
And John gets it to go. 1 point game, 6:29 remaining in the second quarter. Dunn inside to Endurance. Osagi can't get it to go. The mismatch, and he finally gets it to go on the offensive board. There's no way he's missing two in a row over a much shorter player than him. Davis. Nice find inside to Fuller. Great two-man game that time.
And you mentioned the miscommunication a couple possessions ago. That's what we're used to seeing from Central Tech. Malachi and Jamal, that's too easy for them.
Dunn. Barnes gets it to go from the mid-range. It's going to stay with Central Tech on the out-of-bounds play. Jaden Grange going to check in now for Alir Leak. Kobe Elvis still sitting on the bench with 2 fouls. Fuller, crossover. Fuller trying to go in strong, draws the foul that time. Crothers one more foul away from being over the limit.
With a lot of time remaining in the second quarter, 5:36.
But you got to be able to make these free throws. We talked about it a lot in the previous game with TRC. I single-handedly saw Central Tech lose the game against Orangeville in January. They were up, and they had a chance to win that game. And they missed 10 free throws in that fourth quarter, Joe. It's a big deal. Even if it's in the first half, you got to make your free throws because that could come back and haunt you.
It's always the little things that maybe people will forget about in the grand scheme of it, but the reality is those are the key things that win and lose you games sometimes.
Dunn guarded by Davis now. Grange for 3. Grange, no good, and Desan Spencer comes down with it. Here comes John as we approach the halfway mark of the second quarter. Fuller. Davis for 3. No good. Grange going up strong, and he draws the charge. Great play by Jamal Fuller to sacrifice his body.
But it is a little interesting because on the flip side on that previous play, it looked like there could have been a charge call on the other side, but they didn't get it. So for Central Tech, just a little bit of the benefits of the call right now.
Wait, a discussion going on by the refs now. Fuller up in arms. Refs trying to figure out what the call is here.
little confusion here right now. Unsure of what just happened. It looked like there was going to be a charge, but
we're just trying to figure out what's going on here.
well, I know one thing for sure. It's not a defensive foul because he would be going to the line right now, and it looks like they're still set to inbound. So whether the basket counted or because he did make the basket.
It looked like a clear charge to me, Joe. And
it looked like a clear charge as well. So
they're just because they're over the limit now. So Fuller's going to get 2 shots here as opposed to an inbound on the other end. That's what I'm hearing in the situation. Because they were at, remember, Joe, I mentioned before that play that they were at 4 fouls, and they were 1 more from over the limit.
2 shots though off an offensive charge? Maybe I have to open up the OSBA rulebook here.
And regardless, he made 2 at the line. It's back down to a 2-point game. We're finally back underway here as we reach under 5 minutes to go in this half. And Joe, it has literally been back and forth all game. And Mahi with a soft touch in the lane. Beautifully done that time. And another foul being called here. Bill Crothers has not done a great job of defending without fouling here.
And that's something that could become key later on in this game if some of these guys start getting into foul trouble. And it looks like Kobe Elvis is going to be checking in soon. And
bit of a risky move with 4:38 to go and already 2 fouls. You got to be careful here if you're Elvis.
And if you're Central Tech, you got to attack Kobe Elvis. You got to try to make him commit a foul.
And on the other hand, Central Tech has to hit their free throws here. And he hits both at the line that time, bringing it back within 2. Aaliyah Leak going to take, Tyson Dunn will take it up now for Bill Crothers. Guarded by Davis. Here's Leak. To the cutting Elvis. Good play by Zachary John to play the passing lanes. Davis racing up court. Malachi crossover in the lane. And a foul call.
And like you said, defending without fouling, that is something you have to do in these tournaments. You have to, when you're playing great competition, you can't let them get to the free throw line, especially when the ball is in the hands of a player like Malachi Davis, who has already shown in this game that he is going to make most of his free throws. And he makes the first there. Malachi has had kind of a quiet second quarter. He's starting to get to the free throw line here near the end of it, but that first quarter he was fantastic, as well as Kobe Elvis. Both had 13.
And Davis goes 2 of 2 at the line on the season. Shot 67%. Not a bad percentage.
Not a bad percentage, but not a great percentage either. So the fact that he's making all of his free throws in this game, that's a great sign for Central Tech.
Well, their leading free throw shooter, Libbard Mullings, at 84% is out. Leak. Lando going up strong with it. And another foul here. That's only 2 team fouls on Central Tech compared to Bill Crothers' 7 now.
And I think both teams are starting to get into a situation because it feels like back and forth they go, but back and forth they keep committing fouls. And, you know, maybe the refs are calling a little bit closer than maybe both teams would like, but the reality is both teams need to start figuring out how to defend inside the paint without maybe getting some contact or hacking an arm.
And he goes 1 of 2 at the line. Davis with the ball. Davis, long range 3, no good that time. And Lando comes down with it. Elvis racing up the court. Kobe to Aaliyah Leak, no good. Davis, dribble, crossover, what a move, no foul. Elvis, clear lane, and he banks it in. Playing it safe that time if you're Kobe. Spencer. No look pass into Gasser. That was perfect. He just couldn't handle it. And a foul on Spencer. That's 3 team fouls now for the Blues.
Looks like Malachi's going to take a seat. So your premier scorer in this game is now on the bench. Zachary John, who's played really well. You know, he's still out there, but you know, I think Jamal Fuller has got to make a little bit more of an impact on the offensive end with Davis on the bench.
Mahi. Here's Landl. Hands it off to Leak. Pick and roll, and the foul. That was beautifully done. The 2-man game worked to perfection for Bill Crothers.
Fantastic play design by Bill Crothers, and an opportunity at an and 1.
And extend the lead to 6 here.
And I think this might be the largest lead of the game for,
I think you're right,
for
Joe.
Bill Crothers.
For both teams, maybe. Oh, no, sorry. At one point, Central Tech was up by 10. That's matching the largest lead. That would be the largest lead, I should say. Monty Barnes now into the game, number 30 for Central Tech. And Landl gets it to go on the extra point. Barnes back to Fuller. Tyson Dunn picking up that assignment. Witter Watts. Floater, no good. And they couldn't handle it, and John comes away with it. John, baseline, loses the ball, but it's going to stay with Central Tech.
And we saw this in the game we called just a couple weeks ago between these two teams. It was close, and then Bill Crothers started to kind of creep away with it a little bit, and that's when Central Tech kind of started to lose their emotion, lose their cool. So I'm interested to see with this 6-point lead, it's still a really close game. We'll see if they can try to get themselves back in it before halftime.
John looked like he stepped out of bounds that time, and he did. Good job by Elijah Mahi to pressure him. Elvis to bring it up, guarded by Witter Watts. Elvis, pull back, fade away, passes it out. Leak, extra pass to Elvis. Going in strong with it, can't get it to go. John racing up court. Zachary John. Oh, what a move by Zach John.
What a fantastic individual effort by him, just so impressive.
Dunn to Landl, not at the rim, but there's a foul on the play. And Kevin Jeffers is up in arms about that call. Wow, what a play.
What a play. What a tournament for Zachary John. Just kind of came out of nowhere. He's had a good season, but we didn't expect him to be this good throughout the tournament for Central Tech.
Zachary John, class of 2020, potentially playing in his last high school game here, so it doesn't take a perfect vision person to realize that he is giving 110% here tonight. But we're going to take a quick break here. Timeout on the floor, 48-42. You're watching the OSBA Final 8. Back here with 1:56 remaining in the first half, and Joe, Bill Crothers has gained a 6-point lead here, but it's definitely That's not it for Central Tech. Lots of time to go here. Looking to find an offensive spark. Barnes, stolen by Mahi. Outlets it to Elvis. Nearly stolen again, and it is. Barnes pulling back. Stolen again, but a foul on Elijah Mahi, and 2 free throws coming up. Took a chance, and it didn't pay off for him.
Yeah, and that seemed as obvious as it gets, and it looked like for a second they might not have blown the whistle, and instead it's going to be Jamal Fuller at the line to potentially try to cut this lead to 4 points.
Fuller, not the best free throw shooter in the OSBA, but got there quite a bit this year. And shoots about 60.5% from that line, just under 61. Four-point game. Kobe Elvis has been playing a lot of off ball here in the second quarter. Dunn going in strong. What a move! Overshot that one. Davis, Fuller, behind the back. What a move! And Lando with the perfect defensive play.
Just a couple possessions where both players did everything but the finish.
Elvis, Kobe, floater, gets it to go off glass. Six-point game, under a minute now remaining in this first half. Offensive foul. Illegal screen. Hugger Noel coming back into the game for Caleb Atwee. .50 seconds remaining. Player falls down. Elvis with some space. Looking to break down his defender. Step back three. Kobe gets it to go. What a shot by Kobe Elvis, the reigning MVP.
And the degree of difficulty of that shot is just unreal. And the fact that he was able to just finish it in a huge spot there with this quarter winding down.
And he stepped out of bounds. Wow, a chance here with 21.9 seconds remaining in the first half for the Bill Crothers Colts to go up by double digits here. Through most of this first half, it was back and forth. Kobe, one-on-one with Witter Watts, calling for isolation here. Elvis trying to break down his defender, crossover, step back three. Elvis can't put it in that time, but it came ever so close.
Yeah, that's as close as it gets, but what a great finish there for Bill Crothers to go into halftime with a 9-point lead.
Couldn't have said it better. You're watching the OSBA Final 8 High School Championships. We'll be back for second half action. Welcome back to the OSBA Final 8. And a turnover here. A foul on Zach John. I don't know if I saw what the ref saw there, Joe, but that was a tough one because Zach John was right on his way to get an open layup.
Well, I know what I did see in that first half. I saw Kobe Elvis drop 20 points, and I think that for a lead that fell to 9 points, potentially double digits near the end there, Central Tech, they got to find an answer to just stopping Bill Crothers on the offensive end. Kobe Elvis, like I said, finished with 20, and on the flip side, Malachi Davis at 17.
Make that 22, potentially 23 for Kobe Elvis as he continues to add to this lead for Crothers, and he's got a big smile on his face.
And why shouldn't he? 22, potentially, like you said, 23 points on the board already. He's showing up in a big way for his team, and we said he needed to step up and play his best game of basketball if they want to win this game, and so far, he stepped up.
We saw this before, though, Joe, with that game in Central Tech versus Crothers. They got a lead, and Central Tech had no answer for them.
It just started to spiral for them, and they need to respond.
Nagasu rejected at the rim, but a foul once again. But you got to give it to the refs. They're calling it consistently tight here.
Yep. On both ends for sure, and an issue in that second quarter for Crothers early was defending without fouling, and then they started to kind of start playing better defense, and the momentum switched into their favor. And Central Tech, it did feel like they kind of had control in this game, and it just started to slowly fade away. And starting this third quarter with a quick foul, an and one opportunity, and then missing one of your free throws, it's not the best start for the Blues.
And Malachi Davis only with 8 shots in that first half. Look for him to continue to get the scoring under a little bit more efficiently, or I should say at a more higher volume for Malachi Davis. Shot 50% in that first half, but he needs to get going just like the man right here. Kobe Elvis continues to dissect this defense. Fuller only shot 2 for 8 in that first half, going in strong and draws the foul. That's already 14 fouls in total, and we're not even a minute in to this second half, 2 on each side.
I mentioned that Bill Crothers started to play without fouling, but it seems like it's crept back in for both teams now. And Jamal Fuller, just again a very quiet performance. Yesterday he got injured early on, and by the time he was healthy, they had the game well in hand. But they're going to need him to have a big second half here.
2 of 2 at the line that time for Jamal. Back to an 11-point lead. Elvis continuing to go in strong. Leak to Dunn, and a travel call on Tyson that time.
And one thing we didn't talk about yet was the turnover discrepancy between both teams. 5 turnovers at the end of the first half for Bill Crothers, 15 for Central Tech, and that is a massive, massive difference. Central Tech, they're going to need to play a lot smarter on the offensive end, make sure that they don't step out of bounds and they don't give the ball away easy, because Crothers has so many great players that can play on the fast break, and it doesn't tell us how many of those turnovers were on the fast break, but plenty of times we saw Kobe Elvis and Elijah Mahi zooming down the lane.
There you go, zone being implemented here. We saw Crothers do this against Elijah Fisher, and it's similar to what's happening with Jamal Fuller here. As soon as he gets the ball, there's just a wall. Davis, Nagasu got away with the travel that time. But they're going to call a foul. Looked like he shuffled his feet, but foul happening before on the floor here. Already 5 team fouls. And just a minute 25 into the second half. John to Witter-Watts. Witter-Watts inside to Fuller, gets it to go inside. That's what they need to do. They gotta get him the ball in the dunker's position. Nine-point game. Done. Back to Leak, wide open for 3. Alir Leak delivers from the corner. John. Over to Davis. Thought about it. Finds Witter-Watts. Didn't look good coming out of his hands, but Davis won on the offensive rebound. And Fuller there to lay it in once again. That's 2 in a row for Jamal.
And that's what you said they needed to do, and I completely agree with you. Malachi, a great facilitator, especially when he can find his running mate, Jamal Fuller.
It looked like Fuller got a piece of that on Elvis's floater. You're going to see early substitution here for Coach Salia, Elijah Mahi, and Endurance Osagi coming in. Leak and Connor Lando will take a seat. Oh, quick, cheeky pass inside. Back out to Dunn. Extra pass to Mahi. Tough shot that time. And a defensive foul that time on Jamal Fuller. Fuller now with his first personal foul of the game. He's done a great job so far here today of defending without fouling. That wasn't the case in the second meeting of the season, in the last meeting between these guys just over a month ago. Elvis pulling back now, has the mismatch, but there's the double. Great find to Grange, crossover, baseline. Can't get it to go, but there's Osagi. No good, and Fuller comes down with the board. Davis, Witter-Watts, give and go. Malachi. Fuller, strong drive. Can't get it to go. Back comes Elvis. He has Mahi. Elvis, Euro step, beautiful layup off the glass.
And he didn't think for a second on passing that ball. He knew exactly what he was going to do. Driving into the lane, just a beautiful finish.
Fuller gets it to go. Jamal Fuller needed to see that one go through the net.
And he likes to shoot the three, but he's not efficient behind the arc.
Only a 32% clip on the year. And a water bottle comes flying on the court here.
And I think to start this third quarter, it's been a good sign from Central Tech. They're getting the looks they want. Jamal Fuller already with a healthy, I think it would be 7 points now. And, you know, the lead's only been cut to 8 as opposed to 9. But the fact that they're getting a rhythm going offensively is a huge plus for them.
Elvis, looks like the foul happened before the shot. But regardless, now one more foul, and Central Tech is over the limit.
With Bill Crothers only needing 2 more to go over the limit. Both teams have, you know, struggled to defend without fouling, like we've said multiple times. And, you know, that's going to become a problem as this game continues to get into the late third, beginning of the fourth, when players start getting into foul trouble.
Dunn, floater in the lane, too short. And Davis now racing out in transition. Malachi pulling up for the long-range 3. Malachi, no good. They get the offensive board. Fuller nearly loses the ball and puts it in. Back down to a 6-point lead now for Bill Crothers.
And Jamal Fuller now just got his 20th point in the game. He had 11 in the first half and 9 already in the third.
There we go, already in the bonus now. Not even halfway through this third quarter, Joe. This is not a good sign for Central Tech. Off the mark on the second. Dunn's going to pick up Davis off that missed free throw. Central Tech trying to break the zone. Davis, wide open Fuller. Jamal, 2 of 2 from three-point land in this third quarter.
He's absolutely on fire. Already 12 points in this third quarter with 6 minutes remaining.
Bounce pass to Elvis, wide open layup. That's as easy as it gets. Malachi Davis fell asleep on defense that time. 65-59. John. Back up top to Witter-Watts, no hesitation. Short, but there's Jamal Fuller on the offensive glass. He has single-handedly taken over this third quarter. The first half of this third quarter, it was all Kobe Elvis, and now it's Jamal Fuller. Both first-team All-OSBA taking over this game. And an offensive foul on Kobe Elvis, charging.
And finally, just something going Central Tech's way on the defensive end. They haven't, like you said, they haven't been able to stop Kobe Elvis. But I mentioned it before, Jamal Fuller needs to have a massive game for them to win this because we know that Tyson Dunn, he can defend Malachi Davis a lot of the times. The answer for Jamal Fuller, we're not really sure of, and he's showing why that there might not be an answer on Bill Crothers' end for him.
Witter Watts, floater. Elvis, crossover. Back up top to Leak. I'm going to call a travel on a Lear Leak. Silly turnover that time in a 4-point game. Witter Watts will take a seat, and Deshaun Spencer coming back on.
I think it was a smart move to put Witter Watts on the bench. He's had a couple of poor shots in the past couple of possessions. Let him sit for a little bit, maybe kind of cool himself down, know that he might be frustrated with his performance in this third quarter, and when he comes in, he might feel a little bit better about his game.
John. Here's Davis, guarded by Dunn. Step back three, tough shot. That's 2 shots coming up now off that over the back call. .434 remaining in this third quarter, 65-61. Gets a second to go here, 66-61. Fuller picked up by a Lear Leak. Fuller crossover to Davis for 3. Well beyond the arc and missed everything that time. Malachi Davis, I think he's got to find a different way to get his points.
Yeah, we saw in that first half, he was hitting his threes, but
even in yesterday's game, he hit 3 long threes well beyond the arc.
But we did mention that that's not really his strong suit, so the fact that it was hitting was fantastic, but I think he needs to still stick with what kind of brought him to the dance, and that's driving and then either going up with it or facilitating to one of his bigs.
Elvis. Oh, got him off his feet, put it between his legs, and somehow got it to go. What a move by Kobe Elvis. That was fantastic.
That looked like a guy who won the MVP last year, and an opportunity in this tournament. He has shined in both games, and just what an absolute dazzling performance and a dazzling move there.
That was crazy. At one point, Nagasu got up in the air. He dribbled it through his legs, went to the rim, and somehow finished that acrobatic layup, Joe. Every time I see this kid play, he continues to amaze me. Kobe Elvis. I'm telling you, DePaul, next year, they got a good one coming to him. Fuller. Trying to get something going here. Tied up that time. Gets it back. Jamal to Davis. Going in strong. Met at the summit that time. But he draws the foul, and I think that's what Malachi has to get back to. He's a very streaky shooter from beyond the arc, but he is very efficient inside the lane.
And the way he's been shooting his free throws too, I think it's good for him. Who he's basically struggled in this third quarter to kind of see the ball go through the net. 2 opportunities at the line where he's been successful so far in this game could be a huge plus for him in Central Tech. It looks like I might have jinxed it there because he missed the first, but still an opportunity to cut it to 7. And I think this quarter you can basically sum it up that the stars have shown up. Kobe Elvis and Jamal Fuller, both guys, first-team All-Stars in the OSBA this year, and they played like it.
Surprising 2 misses that time for Davis. As we're approaching the end of the third quarter here, 3:30 remaining. Elvis continuing to attack. Kobe Elvis, everything but the finish that time. Rare. Jamal Fuller gets it to go. Maybe not the best shot selection, but doesn't matter at this point. Elvis, nice pass inside to Landell. That was a beautiful shuffle pass. But on the other end, Central Tech has to find a way to get some consistent scoring here. John. Oh, what a move by Zachary John. Can't finish that time. Fighting for the ball. Foul on the floor.
And it's going to mean 2 shots for Bill Crothers. That's kind of been the key frustration for Central Tech in this third quarter, getting into foul trouble early, giving Bill Crothers essentially 2 free points there. They didn't even basically dribble the ball past half court, and they're getting an opportunity at 2 points on this possession.
And a chance to extend the lead to 10 here for Tyson Dunn. Down on the year, 70% free throw shooter. Rarely got there, though, during the season. Misses the second. Sorry, misses the first, I should say. One of 2 at the line, back up to a 9-point lead. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And Kobe Elvis has his name written all over this period, along with this man right here, Jamal Fuller, number 33. To Zach John. John draws the foul that time. Tough fall on the baseline over there. A little bit slow getting up, but looks like he's all right. And 2 shots coming up here. John good on the first. Can't get the second to go. And here comes Elijah Mahi. Elvis crossover. Kobe has the mismatch now. Takes the 3. Kobe Elvis, a killer. He has been an assassin all third quarter. Davis, John, that's not his range. Nice extra pass and great help by Elvis and the rest of these Colts. Atwee looking to go to work in the post. Fadeaway jump shot. Can't get the roll. Barnes, outlet pass to Mahi. Great hustle by Jamal Fuller to get back. Fuller pushing the pace. Crossover. Strong move. Just overpowering everyone. Offensive foul. Offensive foul on Jamal Fuller. They're saying he extended his arm that time. Joe, your thoughts on that call?
I just don't agree with that call, and I think it's just a situation where it's just a bigger body. You know,
I'd have to concur with you, Joe, that Jamal Fuller's been doing it all year.
And that's a tough call. That's a tough call to take, because down 11 and potentially and 1 opportunity, right? Because he made the basket.
Right.
You're talking about a three-point swing potentially on what happens on this next possession. When you're down by 11, you need every single point, and there's going to be an illegal screen there.
A hard foul, but they're going to call it illegal on an illegal screen on Connor Lando. So, Joe, I don't know about that foul. It looked like he was set, but he got hit pretty tough that time.
But I think on both plays there, it's just, you know, when you have a bigger body hitting a smaller body, the smaller body's probably going to fall. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a foul.
Davis with the ball on the other end now. Looking to get going here. Has had a quiet third quarter. Bounce pass inside to John. And John stepped out of bounds once again. We saw that at the end of the first half. .137 remaining. 75-64. And Bill Crothers has taken the clear advantage here in the third quarter due to this guy with the ball. Number 1, Kobe Elvis. Elvis once again. And this time, Barnes stepped out of bounds. A couple silly turnovers in a row here by both teams. Here's Davis. Malachi going in strong. Offensive foul. Caleb Atwee. And we don't need to say anything about that call. I'm sure you can hear the Central Tech fans behind us expressing themselves.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned yet. I think it's pretty obvious that the Central Tech fans, they travel well. And, you know, it's not too far from here, but we expected them to have a pretty raucous crowd.
Osagi with a strong offensive board here. Under a minute to go now in the third. 11-point lead here for Bill Crothers. Shot clock winding down. Elvis tried to zip it in there, couldn't. Turnover, and here comes Davis. Potential 2-for-1 opportunity. Fuller, 3. Can't get it to go, and there's Atwee on the board. And a foul on the floor, and 2 shots coming up as both teams are in the bonus.
And Atwee's been pretty quiet this game. You know, 2 big free throws coming up here because the reality is going into halftime they were up 9. Now they're up 11, which tells us that this quarter has been pretty even in terms of the scoring. But the problem for Central Tech is you can't be even with Bill Crothers anymore. You got to go +9, and you know, down 11. This is a couple key free throws.
Atwee hits the first. Caleb Atwee, 6'9", class of 2022. He's got the frame to be a great player, and he had some pretty decent minutes this year for Central Tech. Continues to work hard over the summer. I'm sure his basketball career will blossom moving forward. .36 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Chance at a 2-for-1 if they decide to do so, but doesn't look like Kobe's in any rush here. Just want to get the best shot possible. Dunn. Crossover, hop step. Throws it to his bench. A rare turnover that time by Tyson Dunn.
I guess in his defense, there is a lot of red on that bench, so maybe he thought he saw something that we didn't.
Fuller back up top to Davis. Malachi pulling back. Vasson Spencer decided not to take it. Tried to drop it in, couldn't do it. 7 seconds left. Elvis dribbling it around. Throws it up. Done. Wouldn't have counted anyways. And that'll be the end of the third quarter, 75-66. It was a Kobe Elvis show in that third quarter. We'll see if Central Tech could come back down by 9 points. You're watching the OSBA Final 8. Welcome back. Getting you set for third quarter action, Joe. And in that quarter, Bill Crothers really took command. And right now, Kobe Elvis has 35 through 3 quarters, Joe.
And Jamal Fuller with 29. So it's been a battle of the 2 first-team All-Stars.
Spencer can't hit the 3. And speaking of Jamal Fuller, going up strong with that big body. I really don't expect him to sit at all through these last 10 minutes.
It's going to be hard to really kind of talk about sitting any of your stars at this point. Season on the line here, fourth quarter. It's a close one. Bill Crothers is in control, but this is still a close game.
Elvis for 3. Bang! Kobe Elvis is starting to catch heat from out there. Oh my goodness, he's 3 of 6, 50% shooting. Sorry, 3 of 5, I should say, over 50% from beyond the arc. Kobe Elvis, not known as a great three-point shooter, only 20% on the year throughout this 2019-2020 OSBA season. Elvis coming off that 3, has 38, goes up and draws the foul. Has a chance to drop a 40 ball here. And Elvis to the line now. 39 points. Looking to make it 40 here. Elvis with a 40 ball. (80-68). Fuller. Spencer for 3. No good that time, and they needed that.
And Central Tech, this is not the time to get cold from the field.
Elvis has just been dissecting this defense. To Dunn, back over to Leak. Off-ball screen coming for Kobe. He grabs it. Guarded by John. Spinning off, Kobe in the lane. Back out to Mahi. They got to get a shot here. Turned over. Davis doesn't take it. Going in strong, tough shot. And Spencer's there to clean it up. Timeout coming here. Bill Crothers wants to talk it over. 10-point game. You're watching the OSBA Final 8. Bit of a mid-quarter entertainment here going on beside us, Joe. We got a couple of fans out here dancing. Got the whole crowd behind us hyped up.
And why shouldn't they be hyped up? We're watching a 40-point performance from Kobe Elvis, 31 from Jamal Fuller.
I do believe that girl was from Central Tech, but I guess we could celebrate Kobe's 40.
Well, yeah, we can. And, you know, they can, like I said, they can celebrate Jamal Fuller's 31 points. He's had a spectacular performance. And 10-point game with 8 minutes left. This game's not over. It's not even close to being over. Central Tech has all the capabilities of coming back and winning this game.
Central Tech is too good to fall to Bill Crothers without a fight. And here comes Malachi Davis trying to cut the lead within single digits. Davis dribbled it off his foot, and it's going back the other way. Dunn to bring it up. Central Tech needs a stop here. Leak. Hop step behind the back. Osagi doesn't go up with it. Going in the lane now with the hook. A lot of contact that time.
Yeah, clear foul. And you don't want to start getting into foul trouble if you're Central Tech. Only 2 so far, but that was a concern in that third quarter.
Osagi only with 4 points on the afternoon, but he's got 7 rebounds to go along with that. And 0 of 2 at the free throw line. Central Tech got bailed out. Now it's time for them to get a bucket here. John pulls back. Once again, met by 3 defenders in the paint. Hugger Noel with the dream shake, no good. And a foul coming here. The first on Bill Crothers of this quarter. By this time, last quarter, Joe, there was already 7 fouls apiece.
Yeah, it looks like both teams have cleaned it up a little bit in terms of fouling. I think it might be because a lot of their guys are in foul trouble, but
seems like the refs are letting them play a bit more here.
But to the line, an opportunity to cut this lead to 8, and free throws are going to be at not a premium, I should say, but very, very important. And the first miss there, that's not a great sign for Central Tech. You got to make these free throws.
And Noel hits a second, back down to a single-digit lead here for Bill Crothers. Elvis still on the floor with those 40 points. Mahi takes it up. Jamal Fuller. Here's Zachary John with perhaps the toughest assignment of his life right now, guarding the reigning MVP Kobe Elvis. But Zachary John is capable of it. Gets the switch. Elvis. No look pass to Dunn. He was out of bounds. And another out-of-bounds play where it's a turnover. It's happened multiple times here in this game and more than 5 times throughout these past couple days at least.
Yeah, it's a little confusing, to be honest, that it's happening so frequently.
Fuller with that high dribble. John trying to split the D. Tough shot that time. Dunn almost stepped out. John. Strong move, gets it to go in.
And just an odd mistake by Bill Crothers. We don't see him turn the ball over like that. And Zachary John made him pay for it.
Elvis, crossover. I'm going to call a foul here. That's already 3 on Central Tech with 6:23 remaining in this quarter.
But luckily for them, Kobe Elvis won't be going to the line. They're going to it's going to be on the floor. So an opportunity to get into your defensive set and get a stop. 7-point game.
Leak. Back out to Dunn. Mahi in the corner. Blocked by Spencer. Great effort by Desan Spencer.
And if you're Elijah Mahi, I love his game, and I love that he's confident in his three-point shot, but he made his mind up before even seeing what was in front of him. Sometimes you got to take that pump fake, drive to the lane, because you know they're going to respect his three-point shot, especially in that corner. That leaves a guy maybe, putting his hand up, rushing to you, and then an open lane.
Oh, that was too easy for Mahi. They got lucky that time. An interesting move here by Kevin Jeffers, going small. Biggest man on the floor is Jamal Fuller. Can't lay it in, but he draws the foul.
A late call, and the Colts are a little bit frustrated in it, but whether you agree with the call or not, Jamal Fuller, he has been a stud all game long, especially in the second half. And they're going to need him to step up here in this final 6 minutes, and an opportunity to cut it to just a 5-point game.
And a chance to make it point 32 and 33 here for Jamal. And he misses the free throw. It's been a killer for him all year, only shooting just over 60% from the line. And he misses both that time.
And those are 2 big misses for Central Tech.
Try to cut it in, does. Elvis can't get it to go. A rare miss for Kobe in this half.
And a great possession for Central Tech, good defense, and a quick stop.
Davis pulling it back. The basket will go a long way for them right now. Witter Watts tried to find it inside, and it went off the fingertips of Jamal Fuller, and it's going back the other way.
And I think if you're Malachi Davis, you got to start attacking into the paint again, because he's been quiet and stuck at 17 for a while. If he can get it going and, maybe a couple dishes when he drives into the paint, that would be massive.
Leak pulls back. Here's Elvis. Kobe going in strong. Couldn't get the Fading away floater to go, spins around. Kobe, acrobatic layup, he puts it in. He's up to 42 now on the evening.
He just makes everything that's so difficult look so easy. And just getting his own board and then making a flashy play inside to extend the lead back to 9.
Davis, John, trying to split the defenders. There's just a wall in the paint right now, and Bill Crothers is suffocating them on the interior. A lot of contact and a blocking foul coming up. 2 shots for Lear Leak.
And the last thing you want to do if you're Central Tech is start playing isolation basketball, and that's what it's kind of felt like since they pushed it to 7 points.
And Kevin Jeffers wants to talk it over here. You're watching the OSBA Final 8, 82-73. Bill Crothers leads. .457 remaining, Joe. Under 5 minutes to go now, 82-73. Time is not on Central Tech's side here, Joe, and the fact of the matter is they need to get a stop and they need to string together a run here because Bill Crothers has countered their attempts at a run perfectly so far here tonight.
And I said it before the break, the concern for me is they're just playing a lot of isolation basketball, not a lot of ball movement, and this is a talented squad. You don't want to just start kind of playing like individuals. Play like a team, move the ball, try to get it to Jamal Fuller, but not just right away at the three-point line. Drive into the basket if you're Malachi Davis. Drive into the basket, kick it to the outside. Try to just do something to just get everyone involved in this.
A couple missed free throws that time.
Game is right in front of Central Tech, and they've been just stuck at 9, but they have the capabilities of getting back here.
It's eerily similar to what that last game was like for Central Tech, and Bill Crothers and Jamal Fuller gets it to go.
But just on that possession there, that's what you want to see. 3 guys touching the basketball. Obviously, if you get 4 or 5 touching it, but just the fact that you're moving the ball around, getting a lot of players involved, it's going to make the game feel better.
Elvis, good find inside, met at the rim, and another foul coming up. And now any foul on the floor will be 2 shots for Bill Crothers, as Central Tech is now over the limit. Osagi hits the free throw that time.
And I would say if Bill Crothers misses his free throw, I don't think they'll be getting an offensive rebound. Their entire team is already set in the defensive end as he makes both of them.
Interesting move by Coach Salia. Playing it safe here. Jaden Witter-Watts to inbound. Fuller with the ball. Inside. Open shot for Spencer. No good. He's 0 of 3 from that range in this quarter. Elvis, strong move. Blocked at the rim by Deshaun Spencer. Great recovery. John getting in the lane. Stripped by Dunn. Elvis, strong move, gets it to go in, the foul. 44 points and a chance at 45 right now, Joe.
Just what a special performance by Kobe Elvis. And if you're Central Tech, just some frustrating strings of possessions on the offensive end. There's going to be a lot to talk about here if you're Central Tech going in these final 4 minutes of this game.
Elvis 6 points off 50.
The reality is, though, Anthony, the walls are closing in on Central Tech, and they need to figure out an answer here, not just on the offensive side, but now on the defensive end as well.
And an interesting move here. No minutes all game. Theo Morton checking in now, number 10 for Central Tech. Kevin Jeffers looking for answers here.
And I think when you're on a 3-on-2 fast break and you're Zachary John and you go ISO on Tyson Dunn, that's going to take you out of the game. That was just, it wasn't a smart play by him. And, you know, maybe putting in some fresh bodies will change things up here for Central Tech.
Davis, a long-range three. No good that time. Offensive board. Witter-Watts for three. Jaden gets it to go. That was a big three, and they needed that one, cutting the lead back down to 8.
It makes the lead feel way, way smaller than it did before.
Behind the back. Elvis. Inside to Dunn. 3-point shot. No good that time by Marcus Barnes. This is your run for Central Tech. You need this. Morton, baseline. Witter-Watts for three. Witter-Watts, 2 in a row. 6 unanswered points by Jaden Witter-Watts. And the lead is back down to 87-82. And Coach Salia calling for a timeout here. You're watching the OSBA Final 8. We got a good one in store. Here we go, Joe. 3:05 remaining. Central Tech cut the lead back down to 5 points now after being down by 12 points at one point in this quarter.
And it was just a spectacular individual performance by Witter-Watts there, you know, hitting 2 threes in almost the same exact spot. And down 11, it kind of felt like this game was slipping away, and all of a sudden, 5-point difference. Bill Crothers needs an answer.
Barnes to Leak. That's a clean look. No good. And Dunn with the rebound.
Oh, and you have to get that
You
rebound
gotta get it
there
to
if you're
Kobe.
Central Tech.
If you're Bill Crothers, you want the ball in Kobe's hands. This is a mismatch right here. Elvis, no good. Osagi with another offensive rebound.
If you're Central Tech, you can't give up 3 opportunities.
That was a clean look that time, but he missed. Fuller with the ball. Jamal guarded by Kobe. He's got the strength on him. Passes it to nobody. He thought Witter-Watts was going to stay. Zachary John coming back in the game. Malachi coming out. And Elijah Mahi now in for Marcus Barnes.
And if you're Jamal Fuller on that play, you zip by your first defender. Just go up with the ball at that point. You know, you're a first-team all-star in the OSBA for a reason. You have to trust your opportunity when you're that close.
Elvis, who's sitting on 45 points. Kobe loses the ball. Extra pass to Leak and a travel. Oh, he stepped out of bounds. Another call like that, Joe. Two-possession game. We just reached under that 2-minute mark here, 1:59 to go. Ref's just trying to figure it out. A bit of a wet spot on the floor. And plays back on now. Looks like Jamal Fuller is going to take it up now for the Blues. And Malachi Davis continues to sit on the bench.
Just a frustrating kind of second half for Malachi after starting red hot in that first half. It's been turned into the Jamal Fuller show. And I think if Central Tech comes away with the win, I don't think we'll be complaining too much about sitting on the bench right now. And still some confusion.
And it just seems like a cameraman has been kicked out of the court here. And the game's back on. Fuller back to John. Witter Watts guarded tightly, double coming. Theo Morton for three. No good. Fuller gets it to go and the foul. Jamal Fuller, this is your moment, big man.
What a huge play by Jamal Fuller to find that ball. I think Theo Morton might maybe call for an assist on that play, but an and one opportunity to cut this lead to 2 points. When it was once 11, it was 87 to 76, or sorry, to 74, and since then, it's been all Central Tech.
What a turn of events here, Joe, and you can hear it with the Central Tech crowd behind us now, getting behind their guys here, with Jamal Fuller with a chance to cut it within 2.
And you know Orangeville, they're watching this game closely. They know that one of these two teams, they got a date with them tomorrow at 2 p.m. Which one it's going to be, we're not sure because it is
either way,
as close as it gets.
It's not going to be an easy task. And if you're Crothers, you got to get the ball in Kobe's hands here. He has 45 points and he hasn't seen the ball in a bit.
He's wide open on the corner.
There he is. Elvis, extra pass to Mahi. Mahi for three. He puts it in from the corner. Elijah Mahi with a clutch three-point shot. Witter Watts for three. He can't answer back. And back comes Osagi. 5-point lead once again. And Elvis is going to slow it down here. Elvis guarded by John and Morton. Inside to Mahi. The defense fell asleep that time. He was wide open. And a timeout coming here for Central Tech. Madness at Mattamy. 56 and a half seconds remaining. We'll be right back. We're going to take our last break. Beg your pardon. We thought there was a timeout on the floor there. It seemed like that's what the refs were calling, but just a substitution here. We're back at Mattamy. No good. Up to Mahi. Just handles the pass, and they pull it back. Elvis with the ball in his hands to Dunn. Barnes, here's Elvis now. Elvis in the lane. Kobe Elvis delivers. Elvis with the dagger, and that's 47 for the reigning MVP of the OSBA.
And if you could read his lips, I think he said, it's over. And I think it might be over now, 9 points.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kobe Elvis has left the building. What a performance here this evening. He has not only put the, not that he needed to remind everyone, but he put the world on notice now. Kobe Elvis performing when it matters most.
And I think what's so special about Kobe Elvis is, we've said it a couple of times already, that, you know, he didn't get an opportunity to be in this tournament last year. He's the reigning MVP, or not, he's not the reigning MVP anymore. That's Jefferson Goulibaly, right. But he was last year's
former MVP, yes.
And we wanted to see him in that tournament last year. Unfortunately, just that's not how it played out. This year, he's shown up and he's shown out. And
couple people were questioning him because you win an MVP, but you don't get into the playoffs. What's that really worth? Well, he's letting everybody know. Is 47 points enough or what?
I think 47 points is well enough. And the thing is about that 47 points that he scored is those are points that he needed to score. This isn't a blowout. This isn't a game that, you know, Central Tech has got the break speed off of them. This has been close and contested, and he has shown up in every single way imaginable, especially in the tight moments like now, like right now in this fourth quarter.
Witter Watts inbounds to John. They got to get a quick shot here. Fuller for three. Try to draw the foul. No good. And on the rebound, there's Witter Watts. They're going to have to foul. Try to trap. Foul on the floor. Witter Watts could have got a technical foul there for knocking the ball away, but the ref's going to keep his whistle in his pocket.
And what I think is so frustrating about that is Tyson Dunn slipped, which means if he didn't foul him, there would have been an opportunity to steal the ball, and maybe something special can happen here for Central Tech, but instead 2 free throws on the way for Bill Crothers, and you make these 2 free throws.
I don't want to say yet because there's still lots of time, and there's so much talent on both teams here. They had a foul to give. No, now they're going to the line here. A lot of confusion, a lot of stoppage here.
Yeah, Central Tech was the one with who was over the limit. Bill Crothers had a foul to give, so that means that they are going to get their 2 free throws.
And Dunn misses the first.
Leaving the door open for maybe a miraculous comeback here for Central Tech.
3-possession game right now. Dunn misses 2 clutch free throws. Fuller, no good that time. Tough shot. And it doesn't look like they're going to foul either. Nearly lose it, and Kobe keeps it. And I think that's going to do it here. Crothers 3-0 this year against Central Tech, have just had their number all year. And they're going to go to the finals, and they have a date with Orangeville, the undefeated Orangeville Prep tomorrow at 2 p.m. right here at Mattamy Athletic Center. But for Central Tech, you can't hang your heads. It was such a great year for them. They shown so much heart and so much promise. They just ran into a team that has a superstar in Kobe Elvis. Dropped 47 tonight. If he didn't have half of those points, it would probably be Central Tech's game. But wow, what a tournament we've had so far. Joe, any thoughts before we head into the finals tomorrow?
Well, I think Central Tech, you have to be proud of the season you had, but the reality is Bill Crothers beat them 3 times, and Orangeville beat TRC 3 times. And I think that the finals that we have truly is the 2 best teams that have been in the OSBA this entire season, and I can't wait to see those 2 teams clash for the championship.
And not even not just the men's either. The 2 first-place teams on the women's side will be playing each other tomorrow, and 2 first-place teams for the men's will be playing each other tomorrow. Truly, the 4 best teams in the OSBA play will be playing each other tomorrow. For Joe D'Agostino, Anthony Gallo, you've been watching the OSBA Final 8 High School Championships. Tune in tomorrow for the finals.